So good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
welcome
good
to
evening.
class.
Hello.
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 So I did a post or review sheet on Brightspace, right? So if you go to Brightspace, you go to your class. So you're gonna see that if you go to announcement, so you're gonna see a review sheet, okay? It's like some select problems, just to indicate the topics, okay? So the review sheet, when you click on it, it's not like 1,000 problems. It's just it's not like a lot of problems. It's just to indicate the topics. But if somebody wants to review, you are free to do more, right? You are free to do more and more and more and more. You see, for instance, solve the system by substitution, you have only 3 of them here. So if you have time, you can do more, right? You can do like, 10 of them, okay? Same thing, solve the systems by addition, same thing. If you have time, you can do more and more and more, all right? So the test will be next week. So now look, this is the thing. Your class is 2 periods that were, done at once, right? So your class is only 1 period class, but actually is, I think, 2 hours and 40 minutes, something like that, right? Almost 3 hours. So I think my opinion is it's not good for you if you do the test in the second period, because we're going to do new topics in the first period. And then if you were prepared, you might have some material mix up in your head, right? So I think it's better for us to do the test at the beginning of the class.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. And then after 1 hour and 10 minutes, you see, which is the time for the test, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to do the regular class next. Okay. So
Okay.
the review sheet is for everybody to be able. You have to be able. You have the answer key. You have to be able to do the review sheet independently, right, by yourself. Okay. And if you have some problems here, remember, you are welcome to my office hours. So by the way, some people ask me questions on my open math. I answer the best I can. But if you really don't understand something, if you really don't understand, you need some help, you have to come to the office hours. You see, I don't think it's going to help you if I solve the problem just like that on a piece of paper, and then send it to you. I think it's better to try to come to the office hours, be it 20 minutes or be it like 10 minutes, or, talk about a problem. This is better for a student than just writing something. You have to do this, you have to do this. Okay, if you understand the problem, you almost understand it, but you did a mistake, that could be enough. But if you need a real help, I think you have to go to a tutoring. And the tutoring is alive, you have to talk to somebody. Okay, now if your office hours, if my office hours does not fit your schedule, right? If my office hours does not fit your schedule, remember, I posted this stuff right here, Math Center. You see the Math Center here? The Math Center here, when you click on this right here on the file here, you will see the schedule, anytime during the day, anytime, like it's almost like 70, it's almost like 5 days a week, and it's almost like any time during the day. You will be able to have some math teachers, right? CCBC math teachers that will tutor you for the whole hour if you want to, okay? So, but I think do not hesitate to come to the office hours. It's not enough just to have, a couple of sentences. If you don't understand a topic, you have to get a tutoring, live tutoring. You have to get somebody who can explain to you live how to do this, how to do this, how to do that, right? Now, sometimes, okay, one sentence could be enough, but I don't think for some level of, of help, I think you have to come somehow, you have to talk to somebody, okay? All right, so that is my, but, I really, we did the quiz, okay? A lot of people did good on the quiz, but the test is different, okay? The test is different. And it's going to be proctored, by the way. You see, since the beginning of the semester, only a few people have their camera on. But the day of the test, everybody will have the camera on. And the camera will be adjusted in a such a way I can see the workstation. I can see, like, your hands writing, okay? Not the face, because the face, I mean, I'm not saying anything, but nowadays you can have your camera face, and you can have whatever device on the side, etc. etc.
But your camera is built into your laptop. You're not going to be able to see what we're doing down at our hand because it's in our laptop.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you see, that's a good thing. That's a good question. But even in that case, we're gonna try not to curve it, but we're gonna try to make it a little bit, to push it a little bit, put some distance between you and it, right? So even if I don't see the whole thing, I have to make sure that, we have to proctor, we have instructions from administration. We have to do our best to guarantee some type of integrity for the test, right?
I have a question.
Yes.
So how many questions are going to be on this test? I don't know if you said that already. I came in, like, my thing was glitching. So how many questions are going to be on this test? Do you know?
I mean, hold on. So
this sheet that you sent us to study with, it has 13 questions, and each one has 2.
I mean, that is a review. That is a review. So a review is, the review is different, right? That is a review. So for the test, for the questions, I don't think this is a 1 hour test. So 1 hour test, I will not give you like 20 questions for 1 hour test, okay? So it's going to be fair. I never had people in general saying, oh, we cannot finish this. No. That does not happen, okay? So, but one has always to deal with the time, right? So let me tell you what, for instance, how many questions you could have.
And how are you going to get the test to us so everybody has it in hand before then? Will you do it over the weekend?
The test?
Mm-hmm. Because you don't want people trying to print it out the day of the test in case they run into issues.
No. I mean, the test is
going to be on
the test only right now. The test is going to be open when
you only can open it one time.
Yeah, when we start, the test is going to be only open when we start our stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry, because the last class I took, we printed something for test time.
That's a take-home quiz. You see, my test will be 13 questions. And they don't have parts, only 13 questions, which means just 13 questions, right? I think it's going to be 13 to the most, okay?
Okay, my last thing, especially if it's only being 13 questions and we're given, like you said, an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, for my extended time, I don't think I'm gonna, like, that's a lot of time for 13 questions. Like, I'm very grateful for that, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to need to use my extended time. But
okay.
So my thing is like, if I am not able to finish in any future circumstance, and will I be able to take a picture of what I have And
no, look, this is the thing. I mean, that question. So, okay, let's talk about it for 5 minutes, and then maybe you and me, we can talk about it in general. But just, you know, for anybody who has accommodation, so we have to abide by that. But then you have only one way to guarantee the accommodation is to send it to the testing center. That is only, so we don't say to the teacher, you have to stay 2 hours for one student. We cannot say that. PCBC cannot tell a teacher, you have to do 20 more minutes of your time, because they don't know what the teacher has to do, right? So the only way to accommodate the student is to send them to the testing center. So now if the students cannot go to the testing center, then the accommodation is, you know, it would not bother me personally if we had to do the test, you know, in the second hour, to stay 20 more minutes, 30 more minutes. It would not bother me. But the test has to
Can you
be done.
explain that again, please? I'm sorry.
No, I mean, this only concerns the people with accommodations only. Anybody that doesn't have accommodations, they, you know, they're not about that discussion.
well, my last thing is with everybody. So we're not, the only thing we need when we're taking our test is pen and paper. We don't get to use our notes, correct? We don't get to use that.
No, there's no notes at all. There's no notes, you know. So, and then, you know, like I said, for the accommodation, no, we can talk, you know, after class, you know, you can talk a little bit, you and me, you know, talk about it, right? But, you know, for anybody, so the test will be open at 5:45. This is going to be the only time you're going to be able to see the test. And it's going to be closed at 6:45, for instance, right? 1 hour, for instance, it's going to be closed. Okay. So when you finish, I'll let you, so 1 hour is working. I will give you 10 minutes, for instance, to take the pictures, you know, to do the scanning, stuff like that, okay? Right, but so the work will be 1 hour, and then you will have 10 minutes to take the pictures, to do the scan, to submit it on Brightspace, or to send it to me. You know, if you are not able, for those people who did the quiz, most of you were able to submit on Brightspace. You're going to repeat the same thing. Now, if you weren't able to submit on Brightspace, the last resort is to take pictures and send them to me directly.
So that's where I'm getting confused. You're saying we're not going to be printing anything out, but you're saying we got to take a picture or something.
No, you're going to write on a free paper, just like in the quiz.
You have to take a picture.
I got you.
You're going to write on a free paper your answers, right?
Gotcha.
And that free paper, you're going to say, you're going to submit it on Brightspace, right? Or you're going to say, just like with the quiz. Okay?
Gotcha.
The only difference with the quiz here, the only difference with the quiz is this stuff is proctored. I have to watch. I have to watch. That's
calculator, correct?
The
calculator can be used.
Yes, you can use a calculator. You can use a calculator, you know, so, and what everybody will try to do is to show the work, right? You know, if a system has to be solved, you have to show the steps, how you solved it, right? Not to give me the last answer, you know, etc. All right. So that was a parenthesis about that, but my advice would be for all of you, please make sure you know how to do all the problems in the review sheet. Make sure you know how to do them independently, right? Without help. And then if you need help, reach out to me, try to come to my office hours, or try to get help somewhere, right? All right, so, okay, so let's continue on solving the systems. Last time I think we met, we saw how to solve system by addition, right? So if you go over that, so if you go over that, let me share my screen first. Right, we have some systems, they are ready to, you know, to be added, right? Some systems, they are not ready yet. So if I take that system right here, the first one, okay. This is the very first one right here, this one. We said this system solved by addition, this system is ready. It is already cooked. This one is ready to be, you know, to apply the addition stuff, solved by addition. Or some people say elimination. It is the same thing. In particular, can somebody tell me why this system is ready for the addition process? Why it is ready? Can somebody tell me why?
Because it
Because
has, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Because the Y and the X, they have a number next to it.
They have a number what?
They have a number next to it, the Y and the X.
Yeah, they all have numbers next to them, but there is something that tells me this system is ready for this method.
It has the same number. Both are
Same
fours.
number.
Both have
One
four.
variable, exactly. One variable has opposite numbers in front of it. That means this system is ready, okay?
Okay.
What is that variable? X. X has two opposite numbers in front of them, right?
Mhm.
X has 4 in the first equation and has -4 in the second equation. So this system is ready. Every time you see that, you say your system is ready. And if you don't see that, you have to do something to get something like that, you see? Okay, so since this one is ready, what we do? We just add, right?
Mhm.
That's it. We just add them. And what's going to happen when you add them together? When you add the equation number 1 to the equation number 2, what's going to happen to the X? To the
They
variable X?
cancel each other out.
The variable X will cancel each other out, right?
Yes.
And that is a goal. You see, the goal is to have one variable gone, right? That is the goal. All right. So when we add them up, you see, that system is ready. So we have 0x, the X is gone. How many Y's we get?
11 or
Yeah, here we have to watch out the
Negative
signs. Negative,
uh,
7.
-7y, right? Is 2 minus 9 is -7y. Equal, what we get on the right side?
Negative
28.
28.
-28, right? You see, the elimination method or the addition method works very well because once you add them up, one variable collapses, right? The other one, you have left only with one variable that you can solve easily. Now, what you have to do to get y by itself?
Divide.
By 7.
Divide by -7, divide by 7, so you get y equal what?
-4.
-4.
I mean, +4, right? Okay, are we done solving this stuff? Are we done solving it?
No, you have to plug it in.
Drink.
Thank you, Kayla. We have to plug in the y in either of the equation to solve for x.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter which one we choose, both will work. In general, we'll go with the easy one, right? The one we think is the easiest.
The plus.
Yeah, the
4x.
one, yeah, exactly. The 4x plus 2y, you see, plus 2, I put y here, 2 times 4
Comes 4, yeah.
equals 0, right? So, and then we get 4x plus 8 equals 0, right? We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we get 4x is equal to -8, and then we divide by 4, divide by 4. So we get x equal -2. All right.
Mhm.
So this is the elimination or the addition method, right? And, but it's not always the case you're going to see, okay? Because here we said this was ready to be done. So now we can have some other cases where the system is not ready yet, you see? Where the system is not ready yet. I mean, let's get one that is not ready, but almost ready. Almost.
And you slide that up. Just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit. I
I'm
didn't
gonna
get
do
that
that
last
after.
time.
Like this one, like this.
So when we're doing the elimination method, we
Mhm.
figure out the Y, but then once we're done with the Y, we have to go and figure out the X, even though the X
Exactly.
is finished. Because
Exactly.
it's canceled out.
Yeah, you know, when you solve a system, you consider done only when you get X and you get Y, both.
Okay.
It's only when you consider done. You see this new one right here.
Okay.
This one is almost ready to be added. Remember, we want to add. Why we prefer adding? Because subtraction is harder to handle for students, right? The mistakes, okay? If you don't care about addition or subtraction, this one is good. This one is also ready. But if you want to add, right?
Mhm.
If you go ahead and you add them, do the X cancel out?
Yes.
They do?
No, they
If you add
don't,
them up?
because one's not a positive and one's a negative.
Exactly. You see, they only cancel out when one is a positive number, one is a negative number, right?
Oh.
Oh.
Remember, you want to add them up. But if one does not care about subtraction, you can subtract them if you want to. When you subtract the same numbers, you get 0, right? Okay, but why we say addition? Because we know students will do less mistakes if they add rather than if they subtract, right?
Right.
But some of you don't care about addition or subtraction, right? You know, if you don't care about that, you go ahead and you subtract them, right? But if you do care about that, now there is a quick fix. There's a quick fix to get one positive, one negative, right? You see, I have -10 in front of X, -10 in front of X, right? The quick fix is to make one of them become +10, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter which one we choose to become +10, it doesn't matter. Let's say we chose the second one to become +10. What is the way to make -10 become +10? You multiply by how much?
You
Multiply by how much? If you want a -10 to become, no, if you want a -10 to become +10, you multiply it by -1. Thank you. You just multiply by -1. You see, what is -1 times -10?
+10.
+10, right? What is -1 times, -6? +6, right?
Yes.
If you want to change a number to become, if you want to change the sign, you multiply by -1, right? So I multiply by -1. But when I do so, I'm doing it to everybody in the second equation, not only to the first one, to everybody in the second equation, right? To all the 3 terms, you see? So the first one, I don't change it, is -10x minus 5y equals 0. But the second one, look what happened to the second one. What is -10x times -1? Positive what?
10.
10x, right?
I don't
What
know.
is
I don't know who's playing music, but
yeah.
you're not
Please,
muted, bro.
I don't want to rush to tell people. I don't want to rush, mute yourself, but everybody, please try to mute yourself when this happens, okay? All right. So, and what is -10y multiplied by -1? What's going to happen? It's going to become what?
Plus.
Plus 10y, right?
Yeah.
What is -30 multiplied by -1?
30.
-30.
Multiplied by -1.
30.
+30, right?
That's 30. Yeah.
You said -1 times -30.
-30 is +30,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, yeah.
So now, because of this, now we are ready to add them up. You see? Everybody see that? Now we are ready to add them up, which we're gonna do here. When we add them up, is a big plus here. These two cancel out, right? And that is what is intended. What is intended is to cancel one variable, right? What happened to the y's when you add them up? How much y you get? Plus what?
5.
5y.
5y.
Plus 5y. Thank you. 5y. And then on the right side, how much you get?
30.
30. Thanks. You see? So we have 5y equal 30. So now we can divide by how much?
By 5.
Divide by 5. Divide by 5. So we get y equal to
6.
6. After we got y equals 6, we're going to substitute the y equals 6 in either of the equation. Doesn't matter which one. For instance, we're going to put it here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which one, right? So we get negative. Now solve for x now.
Negative 10x.
So we get negative 10x minus 5 times 6, right? 5y times 5 times 6 is equal to 0. All right? Which is negative 10x minus 30 equal to 0, right?
And then you put
Okay, what's next? What you do next?
plus
Plus what?
30.
Plus 30 on both sides. So we get negative 10x is equal to 30, and then divide by
Negative 10.
divide by negative 10, right?
So it's equal to negative 3.
Yes, x equal negative 3. So my solution is negative 3, comma 6.
Okay, we always gotta add the 6. Let me not forget that.
Negative 10, comma 6, right? Negative 3, comma 6, okay? So that is an equation that we did a very quick fix, remember? So we did a quick fix. We just multiplied one equation by negative 1, that was it, all right? So now I'm gonna give you another one, just gonna look like this one, almost. All right, so let me do this one. Okay, go ahead. I let you like, few minutes, 2 minutes to do this. All right. Let's see somebody, can walk us through the steps that they did. One volunteer.
I guess I'll do the first.
Okay.
Yes, someone, somebody who talked to, so who did talk first?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead, Danielle. What you did?
So I canceled out the three X's. I got 3 plus 9, which was 12Y. And then
Mm-hmm.
and then I added negative 12 and 24. I got negative 36. I
Yes.
divided them both by 12, which gave me
Yes.
Y equals negative 3.
Yes, you see, your answer would be correct, except
Okay.
because you added here, right?
Yes.
You added. But when you add, look what happened to the negative 3x.
You gotta turn it.
Do they really cancel out when you add them up?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, you
you
did
see,
say that. Last
one
time.
has to be positive, one has to be
You
negative.
did say that. You did
You
say
see?
that. Oh, I need more time now. No.
Yeah. One has to be positive and one has to be negative. If you
Okay.
want to add them up, if you want to do the addition stuff, right?
Mhm.
So and that is why we need some of them. One of the negative 3x, we need one of them to become positive 3x.
Right. Okay. We
Okay.
did do that. All right.
All right. So somebody tell me what you did.
I
Uh-huh.
can tell you what. Okay. So
Yes.
I did so to turn the negative 3x into a positive, I 3 times negative 1.
Yep. The one at the top or the one at the bottom? Which
The
one
one
you
at
chose?
the one at the bottom.
One at the bottom. So you multiply it by negative 1, the whole equation at the bottom. Yep.
Yes.
What you got?
And so I got a positive 3x plus 9y equals to negative 24.
Look. Before we go any further, when you do that, you have to distribute the negative one to everybody. To all of them. You see, the same way you multiply negative 3x by negative 1, you have to multiply 9y also by negative 1, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
This, instead of becoming plus 9y, is going to become what?
Negative.
Negative 9y.
Okay, right. Okay.
Equals, and the negative 24 will become how much?
Positive 24.
Positive 24.
Positive 24.
Okay.
Exactly. The first equation, we did not touch at it, so it's still going to be negative 3x plus 3y equal negative 12, right? Now we are ready for the addition now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can somebody else proceed here from here?
So so from there I canceled out the negative 3x and positive 3x.
Yep.
And then I added 3 plus negative 9y.
How much you
Right.
got?
And then I got negative 6y.
Yep, that is right. Equal to how
which
much?
equals 12. Yeah.
12, exactly, which is negative 12 plus 24. Yep.
And then I divided negative 6y by negative 6. And divided 12 by negative 6.
That is
and
absolutely correct.
Y
So
equals negative 2.
Y equal to negative 2. What you did next with this Y?
And then I substituted the Y in the first equation, negative 3x plus 3y. I substituted the Y with negative 2.
That is
so then now would be negative 3x plus 3 times negative 2 equals negative 12.
Yep.
And then I added, then I did that equation, which would be negative 3x plus minus 6
minus
equals
6.
12.
Exactly. So now what you did next?
And then I added 6
on both sides. Yeah.
On both sides. And then I got that canceled out. And then I got negative 3x equals negative 6. And then I divided -3 on both sides.
Yeah,
And then I got x equals 2.
+2. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah.
to all of you. You see, this system right here, they almost ready to be added, but not quite yet. So you have to multiply by -1. But when you do so, every time you decide by any number, to multiply by any number, you have to multiply everybody by that number. Okay, all the terms. You have to divide, you have to multiply all the terms by that number. All right, so, okay, so now we're gonna see an example that is not, for instance, the number 11, right?
This is so much easier than plotting.
Yeah, plotting is not fun. I agree with you. It's not like, it's not in the terms of hard, right? But it's not very fun because you don't do no algebra stuff. I agree with you. So here, you see here, unfortunately here, we don't have, in front of the variables, we don't have matching numbers. All of us agree with that? That is why this example is a little bit different from the two previous ones, because the two previous ones, we do have matching numbers, right? Here, we don't have matching numbers, okay? So what we have to do here will be a little bit harder than what we did before, right? Okay, so look, we have to choose now. And that is a complete choice of us. What variable we're gonna try to make the numbers match?
Y.
The X or the
Y.
Y? Everybody
The
says
Y.
Y?
Why?
I agree with you. Because the Y, the two numbers in front of Y, they are -1 and +2.
So they're already a match.
No, I mean, they're not the same number yet. You see, one has one,
No, but you
the
have a
first
negative
one.
and a positive. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the signs are good.
Mhm.
Exactly. The signs are good, but the numbers are not good yet, right?
Right.
But here, it's easier to make the numbers match because the first number that is a multiple of 1 and 2 is what number?
1.
No, what is the first number? A multiple, right? What is the first number
2.
which is a multiple of 1 and 2? It is 2 itself, right? You see here, that number is 2. We don't have to go any further. If you want to make them match, we have to try to have in front of each variable the number 2, right? One be positive, the other one will be negative. If somebody else chose the X, who makes the X's match, right? If somebody else chose the X, what is the first number that is a multiple of 2 and 5?
10.
That is 10. You see, you have to go all the way to 10 to make them match, right? But here, if I choose a variable Y, which is a better choice, the number I have to manage to get in front of each variable is a number 2, right? Which I have in the second equation. I already have 2, right? So do I need to change the second equation?
No.
No.
I don't need to change the second equation, right? So to get the number 2 in front of the first equation, I need to multiply the first equation by how much?
2.
2.
By 2. Thank you very much, right? Okay. When I do so, I have to pay attention to distribute here to everybody, right? 2 times, okay? What I get 4x minus 2y equals 5, right? Now equal 10. You see, I did a
I was
mistake,
gonna say,
right?
why wouldn't that be 10?
Yeah, you see, somebody has to tell me I did a mistake. It's a 10. Thank you. So it is by equal 10, right? And then the second one, unchanged, is 5x plus 2y equals negative 28, right? Now my system is ready to be added, right?
No,
Yeah.
Is it? Look at the
no,
y.
because you have a 4x positive and a 5x positive.
Yeah, but look at the y's.
It's a negative and a positive. So
Look at the y's. I have -2 and +2 in front of the y's.
Okay.
You see, the numbers that should match is not like only the x's. I see what you're saying, because all the examples we did, it was about the x's, right? You see, but this is just a coincidence. We just want the numbers to match, right? And here these two match, so we are ready to add them up. And when we do so, the y's collapse. You see, this -2y, +2y, they cancel out, right? Now watch how many x's I have now. 9x.
So then you're not always going to have a positive and a negative. You could have two positives.
No, because you are just as if you are saying it should be on the x. No, what we want it here now is on the y now. Is on the y variable. You see, the rules doesn't say it has to be about the x. No, it's either x or y. You see? So right here, just right here, no, that system right here, that is a good system. Why? Because in the front of the x's, we have two matching numbers, right? And a positive one and a negative one. That is a good system. That is good. This one also, this one is also good. Because now in front of the y, what you have now? This one is also good, right? Both are good. This is a good situation. This is a good situation. Because in either one of the variables, we have two matching numbers. Okay? It doesn't have to be on the x itself. No, it doesn't have to be on the x only. No, it could be on the y also, right? Which is the case here. Okay? So when we do the addition, we just see what variable is, what is the easiest way to get two matching numbers. That's it. Okay, is 9x equal what? Now, 9x equal?
-18.
-18.
9x equal -18, right? We divide by 9, we divide by 9, we get x equal to how much?
-2.
-2. So now we report this -2. We're going to plug in the -2 everywhere. It doesn't matter which one, right? Either, so what you choose? The first one, right? Let's do the first one. Or maybe the second one. Let's do the second one for once, right? We're going to plug in the -2 here. It's going to be 5 times -2 plus 2y is equal to -28, right? So we get -10 plus 2y is equal to -28. So we add 10, so we get 2y equal to -18, I'm sorry, right? And we divide by 2. We divide by 2, so we get y equal to -9. Okay? So x is -2, y is -9, right? And then I'm done solving this system right here. All
So
right.
excuse me, just to be clear, it doesn't matter which of them we use, right?
It
We could
doesn't
use-
matter.
Okay.
Yep. If everything is done correctly, it's going to be the same answer at the end. All right, so you see this system right here, I'm going to give you another one. All right. This one, the numbers are even more complicated. It's kind of, but you know, this is the general case. This is the most general case here. It's something like that. The numbers don't look nice to me. You see, what numbers we have in front of X? 3 and 4, right?
4.
What numbers we have in front of Y?
2
and 7.
2 and -7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you wanna make, if you choose, that is a choice of yours. Now tell me, we're gonna see the majority. What variable you want to make the numbers match, the X or the Y?
The X.
The X. Okay, we're gonna say, we're gonna take, you know, the first answer. You see, we're gonna take the X, we want to make the X's match, right? Okay, everybody agree with that? Now we have to go look for what is the first number that is a multiple of 3 and 4.
12.
12.
Everybody agree with that? Everybody will be able to say 12?
Yes.
The first number that is a multiple of 3 and 4 is 12, right? So basically, we want one of them to be positive 12, the other one to be negative 12. Okay? And that is a choice of yours. You want in front of one value on one X to get positive 12, in front of the other one to get negative 12, or vice versa, right? Again, why? Because we chose X. We chose X, okay? Just saying, if somebody else chose Y, what is the first number that is a multiple of 2 and 7?
14.
14. Okay? Then we have to decide to make one of them become 14, the other one become negative 14, right? Okay. So now from there, let's say we want this one to become 12, and that is just a choice. We want this one to become 12, and we want this one to become negative 12, right? From that, you have to multiply by how much?
12.
And here by how much?
-3.
Okay, go ahead. Try to do it by yourself. Decide, you know, the question marks here is what number you need to multiply the first equation by to get 12 there. And the second question mark is what number you need to multiply the second equation by to get negative 12. So I let you do it. Okay, so if you want the first number in front of X is the first equation to be positive 12. How much we need to multiply that x by?
4.
4.
4. Thank you. If you want this one to become negative 12, we need to multiply by how much?
-3.
-3.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Mhm.
Is it wrong if you do it like the opposite way?
No, it's going to be the same answer at the end.
Okay, I was just double checking.
Yeah, that is a good question. At the end, it's going to be still the same answer, right? So it's going to be, now we go ahead and we distribute, right? You see, the mistake could come from the distribution because we can forget easily a number. So it's 12x. How many y's?
8y.
8y
Y.
equal to negative what?
4.
Negative 4. Thank you. And then we get negative 12x for the second one. When we do that, plus, right? Plus 21y is equal to negative 54. Right?
Yeah.
So now when we collapse them like this, when we add them up, the 12x cancel out, right? And how many y's we get?
29y.
29y is equal to negative 58. Right? So we can go ahead and divide by 29, divide by 29, so we get y equal to negative 2. Once we got y equal to negative 2, we can go ahead and substitute in the first equation, for instance. It doesn't matter which one we choose, which is 3x plus 2 times negative 2 equal to negative 1, which is 3x minus 4 equal to negative 1, right?
And then
So we're going to add 4, add 4. We get 3x is equal to 3. We divide by 3, so we get x equal 1, right?
yeah.
So my solution is x equal 1, y equal negative 2.
So I did it the opposite way and did the y's, made them 14, and I got the same thing. So
Exactly. That's a good point. When we do it the other way around, if you do the, if you avoid mistakes, both ways should arrive to the same conclusion, right? Both ways. So that is, all right, so let me see. We got another one here. So let me give you, okay. All right, you see, that one is not like, it's not like very nice example, okay? But it's good. I let everybody, now I let everybody do their own choices, right? And then I let you some good 5 minutes uninterrupted and see what you're gonna get. You do your own choice, which variable you're gonna try to match, etc., what numbers to multiply by, all that, and then you're gonna try to see what you get.
I don't like this one.
Yeah, the numbers are not nice. I think it's been 5 minutes, so, okay, can somebody, walk us through the steps they did?
I can do it.
Yeah, go ahead, try it.
So I changed my y's to make them 15.
Okay,
So the first equation, I multiplied it by -5 and got 35x plus 15y equals -60.
yep, so, hold on a second, so you chose -5, which I agree with, right? So it's gonna be 35x plus 15y, right?
Yes, equals
Equal to -60, which is good. And then how about your second equation now?
I
You multiply-
multiplied it by 3 and got
Uh-huh.
-18x minus 15y equals 60.
Yep, so you multiply by 3. You see here, that is a good choice because the first one you chose -5 to make this one become plus. But the second one, you didn't choose -3 because you wanted the two signs to be different, right?
Right.
That is good. So -18x minus 15y equals to 60, right?
Yes.
So now, are you ready to add them up now?
Yes.
Okay, now we add them up. What you got now?
So I got 17x, 15
Uh-huh.
cancel out equals 0.
17x and the y is gone.
Right.
Equals 0. You see, that is a coincidence. We have -60, +60 that make it 0, right?
Right.
So 17x equals 0. So,
So
what we did next?
divide by 17 and then x equals 0.
Exactly. 0 divided by any number is 0. So x equals 0, right?
Right. And then I plugged in 0 for x. So
In what equation?
I did the -7, the first equation.
Exactly, the first equation. You see now, you plugged in 0 in the first equation, which is -7 times 0, right?
Right.
Minus 3y is equal to 12. Okay, now what next?
So -7 times 0 is 0. So -3y equals 12, and then divided by -3, and I got y equals -4.
Yep, so y equal -4.
I'm so confused.
I did the same thing.
Yes.
I did the same thing. By using the x, and my answer actually came out the same. Y equals 2, but mine wasn't -4. It was just 4.
Yeah, it is a matter of mistakes. But you see, we always can check back our answers, right? We always can check back our answers. I think this answer is a good one because when you check back 0 and -4, when you plug in 0 for x and -4 for y, in the first equation, you're gonna get 12. And the second equation, you're gonna get 20. So when you get 4 and 0, just a matter of mistakes, See, but who said they were confused?
Oh, Danielle, I said I'm so confused. I'm sorry, but I got so lost in my steps. I don't even understand how we even got the 15. So, yeah,
15s, okay, this is the thing. You see, China chose, right? To make the numbers in front of the Y match. That is a choice she did, and which is a good choice because the numbers in front of X, they are 7 and 6, right?
That's what I did wrong. Okay, yes.
They are way higher. No, that's not wrong. If you choose 7 and 6, it's good. You have just to be able to choose the right number. That is a choice. Every time we say choice, it really means choice. It means you choose X or you choose Y.
I chose X.
So by the way,
Me too.
Okay, by the way, you see, just we're gonna choose. So we're gonna do it the other way, and we're gonna choose X and see if we're gonna get different answers. Okay, let's choose X. So just to make sure it's gonna be the same stuff.
And I chose 7.
Yes, it's right here. Okay, so look, if we chose X, right? We chose to make the X's match. So now Go ahead, tell me. If you chose X to make the X's match, you have to multiply the first one by how much? For instance,
706.
you multiply the first one by the first equation by how much? I want the X's to match, right?
Yeah, I
Negative.
said 7, 7
Right.
and 6.
Me too. That's what I said.
You multiply the first one by 7?
No, the first one was by 6.
By
6,
6, right? The second one by how much?
7.
7.
You see, I wanted them because, you know, mathematically, for instance, me personally, I wouldn't mind. But for students, I think it's very important for you to have opposite numbers.
Okay.
One to be positive, the other one to be negative, right? Why?
Okay.
Because that way is gonna make you avoid mistakes. Personally, I wouldn't care personally because, you know, I've been handling pluses and minuses for 4 years, right? So you see, but if you are in a test and you have to avoid mistakes, it's easier for you to have a positive number somewhere and a negative number somewhere.
Okay.
Which means, for instance, if you choose to multiply by 6 up, the one down, instead of multiply by 7, you're going to multiply by negative
7.
7, right? But if you multiply by 7, does it make it wrong? Not at all. But then you have to subtract.
Oh.
You see, because the two numbers, if they have the same sign, to make them 0, you have to subtract instead of adding, right?
Okay.
You agree with that?
Yep. Well, there we go.
So that is
I'm
why,
sorry.
you see,
Who's this?
that is why we multiply the second one by -7.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
In that
negative.
case, look what we get. Okay, the number's going to be a little bit bigger numbers, but it doesn't, it doesn't really bother us. See? The first
Yeah, I
equation will
started getting
become
confused too.
yeah, negative
Yeah, me
42x,
too. Plus
right?
35. Oh, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
that's what I
minus
had.
18y
Mm-hmm.
equal to 72.
72, right.
Yeah.
And the second one becomes what?
Negative 42. Or is it just
No,
42?
when you multiply by -7, if you multiply by -7, it's
42.
going to
Just 42.
be positive
Yeah.
42x plus what?
35.
Y equal to -1.
40.
40.
That's what I had. I was
Yep.
like,
Add
That's
them up.
exactly what I had.
It's gone. So we get 17y
right.
equal to -68.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. 17y equal to -68. So we divide by 17. Divide by 17, and you can use your calculator. 68 divided by 7 is 4. You get -4.
Okay.
That matches this, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I did
I was so confused.
So I forgot to do I forgot that you got to do both equations. So I only was working on one equation with the same 7x equals 3y.
So,
and also I forgot to, you said that we would have to subtract if we did it that way, correct?
Yeah, if you multiply by the same number, I'm going to do it right now, just to make it clear. If you have both negatives, then you have to subtract, which is not a big deal, subtracting. But just in a test, the pressure of the test, when you subtract, you have chance to do more mistake than when you add, right?
Yes.
That's the only reason, by the way. That's the only reason why we prefer addition rather than subtraction. Okay.
Okay.
So after that, after you get the -4, you go ahead and you plug in -4 in either of the equations. Let's say I'm plugging here -4 for y here. I get -6x minus 5 times -4 is equal to 20, right? Which is -6x plus 20 equal 20. You subtract 20 on both sides. So we get -6x equals 0. When divided by -6, we get 0, right? So we get x equals 0. You see, same result, same answer we got. So now, just to close this answer, we're going to take a break. If we got the same, if you don't make one positive, one negative, let's just see. If you don't make one positive, one negative, let's see what happens. So the same example right here. Okay, let's say I have the same example right here. I'm going to, okay, I really don't care about having one positive, one negative. Let me target the x's. Let me multiply this one by 6 and this one by 7. You see? So here I'm saying I don't care having one positive, one negative. You see, down matter. So what I get negative 42x minus 18y equal to 72. And here I get negative 42x minus 35y equal to 140. Now, since they have exactly the same sign, what we would do? We would not add, we would subtract now. You see?
Right, okay. I'm gonna write that down, yeah.
We would subtract now. If you add them, they don't cancel each other. If you add, you have to subtract them now. You see? But if you do it with a calm head, actually you can do it, okay? What is negative 42 minus negative 42? They cancel out, right? Because they are the exact same number. Okay, now we be careful now. It's
Okay.
negative 18 minus negative 35, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The two minuses become a plus, right?
Yeah.
It's negative 18 plus 35, which is 17y, right? And here is 72 minus 140, which is negative 68, right? You see, in either case, we divide by 17, we divide by 7, you get y equal negative 4. You see? Same answer.
Okay. Okay.
Same answer.
Okay, I just did it the hard way. Well, I want to do it easy because
Exactly the same way. So now, for those who chose to eliminate y, why this choice is slightly better? Because this choice makes you avoid bigger numbers, right? That's it. One of the choices, one of the criteria to choose, one of the criteria is to avoid bigger numbers. That's, that's one of the criteria, that's it. Okay, other than that, actually you are free to choose any variable, all right? You see this example right here is gonna be way harder than the one you're gonna get on the test, okay? In terms of the numbers, in terms of the numbers, you see? On the test, we will not try to trick students with big numbers, right? You don't have time for that, okay? So it's going to be some regular numbers. We just want to see if the students know the process, right?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a pause, about 10 minutes pause, and then when you come back, we're going to conclude this section.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right, so I think, yeah, it's been about 10 minutes break, right? So, just to done with this, section right here, just, a couple of problems that I want to mention, not because they are hard, but because, they kind of particular. If you say, for instance, 5x minus 2y is equal to 4, and we get negative 10x plus 4y is equal to negative 8, right? Okay, so here, obviously, I have different numbers, but they kind of related, very, very related. Okay, so now tell me, which variable you choose to make match, the x or the y? It doesn't matter. The y, right?
Why?
Let's say the y. If you want to make the y match, we have to multiply the first equation by how much?
2.
By 2, only 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get 10x minus 4y is equal to 8. And the second one we don't touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Negative 10x plus 4y equal to negative 8. Look now what happens when we add them up.
It's undefined. They all cancel each other out.
They all cancel each other out. So we get 0x and 0y. We get 0 on the left side, but also we get 0 on the right side, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
0 equals 0. That is always true. When this is always true, actually it means we have infinity many solutions.
Line. Mm-hmm.
Which means the two equations represent the same line, actually. You see, we have not noticed, but the two equations represent the same line, right? So here, every time you get 0 equals 0, you say infinity many solutions. All right? Every time you get that, after you add them up, every time you get 0 equals 0, you get infinity many solutions. Now, if I operate a slight change now, if I do 5x minus 2y equal to 1, and then negative 10x plus 4y equal to negative 8, right? I do the same. I'm going to multiply the first equation by 2, right? So we're gonna have 10x minus 4y equal to, and here we're gonna have negative 10x plus 4y equal negative 8, right? You see now when we add them up, what's gonna happen? The x cancel out, the y cancel out, we get 0 on the right or left side, but now what we get on the right side? Negative 6, right?
Negative 6.
Is that true?
No.
Is that true? That is not true at all.
Yeah.
So every time you get that, you say no solution.
No solution. Okay.
Okay. When you add up the two equations and you get 0 equals 0, you have infinity many solutions, which means the two equations represent the same line. When you add them up and you get 0 equals something else, you got no solution, which correspond, the two lines are what? If there is no solution, the two lines are what? How are they?
Don't exist.
Parallel?
No.
They are parallel, right? The two lines are parallel, so they never meet, okay? That is one we don't have a solution. Okay, you see, this is what we could have said on this topic. Again, we did some practice, we did practice that, since the beginning up to right now. So you know, you have to do more practice on your own, you know, and make sure you master this stuff, right? So now we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is how to, some applications, right? We're gonna see how to use systems to solve some, you know, some that could be real life problems, how to solve systems, how to use system to solve some real life, you know, that is applications. So which is right here. That is application of systems 2.4. 2.4 is application of systems. All right, so we're gonna go over some real life problem, like I said, you know, and see what to do to get. All right, for instance, this one. Some of them are kind of amusing. All right, look. A collection of dime and quarters, right? A collection of dime and quarters is worth $15.25, right? That is only the 15.25 is, we have a bottle where we have coins and we have only dimes and quarters. There are 103 coins in all. How many each of are there? How many dimes, how many quarters? This is just like that. These problems, just like that, they are not easy to figure out, okay? They are not easy just to say, okay, let me count, you know, etc., etc. But if you write them as systems, then they becomes easier, okay? So let's try to do this one right here. So let me organize this way. We have quarters. We have dimes. And here we have number of, right? And we have the value. And here we are going to do some total here. Okay, so do we know how many quarters in that piggy bank? As of now, do we know how many quarters in that?
No.
We don't know, right?
No.
We don't know how many quarters. Okay. So since we don't know, let's call it X. Anything you can, anything in math you don't know, you just give it a variable name, right? Okay. Do we know how many dimes we have?
No.
No.
Call it Y. Right? But do we know what is the total number of coins we have?
15, 25.
103.
103.
103. So this first column, what equation this first column gives me?
X plus Y equals 10.
103. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
The first column gives me the first equation, X plus Y should be 103. Okay, now I move to the value now. Okay, if you want to, you can go with the dollars, or if you want to, you're going to go with the cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know coin, you see, if a coin is worth how many dollars? How much of a dollar a coin is worth? I mean, a quarter.
25.
25 cents.
4.
It's like $0.25, right? So if I don't like decimal numbers, I can count in cents. So a quarter is how many cents?
25.
25 cents, you see? So each quarter is 25 cents, but how many quarters we have? We have X quarters, right? If
Yes.
each quarter is 25 cents, then X quarter, what is the value of X quarter? What you do?
25
25, what? Only 25?
X.
25 cents.
25X is 35
Oh.
times X cents, right? We have X quarters that we don't know X, but we have X quarters. Each one of them is 25 cents. So what is the value of X quarters? You multiply 25 by X, right? 25. What is the value of what is the value of Y dimes?
10 cents. Well, 10Y.
10Y, right? One dime is 10 cents. So Y dimes is 10Y, right? Everybody in this room agrees with the second column? How we counting the money?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So now, what is the total money we have in cents?
130.
You see? But here, since I decided to count in cents, I have to convert $15.25 into cents. So how many cents that is?
35 cents. Is that right?
You multiply by how much? If you want to convert a dollar to cents, you multiply by 100, right? It's going to be 15.25 cents, right?
Oh.
If you want to convert, for instance, $5, how many cents $5 is?
500.
500 cents. What you do, you multiply 5 by 100, right? We agree on that?
No,
Go ahead.
how'd you
Right.
get 1525?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, we
Debbie.
multiply to get 1525. We multiply 15. If you have a calculator, you can try that. 15.25 times 100.
Oh, times 100.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you have any amount of dollars and you want to convert it into cents, you multiply by 100, right? To get the cents.
And that's just for dollars, right?
Yes. Why we chose to go with the cents? What is the main reason we chose to go with cents?
You don't want no remainders, like anything left over, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want a decimal numbers, you see?
Okay.
You see right here. If you chose this, let me open a new Word file. But you cannot see it, so let me share it, right? If we chose cents, what table we're gonna have? If we chose dollars, right? We're gonna have the same table, quarters, dimes, right? It's gonna be number of, and here's the value. If we chose dollars, if we have X dollars, right? The value of X dollars, if you choose dollars, instead of cents, right? Each quarter is worth $0.25, right? Okay. Each quarter is worth 0.25. Because to get the value of a quarter, you divide a dollar by 4, right? When you divide 1 by 4, you get 0.25, right? Okay. So if you have Y here, each dime is worth 10 cents, which is $0.1, right? It's going to point 0.1 Y, you see? But then here, I see 103, but there you don't need to convert, you have 15.25, right? Now you decide, is it cooler to work with this table, with these numbers, or is it cooler to work with these numbers?
Yeah, the first one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, you see, this one has no decimals, right? That's the only reason, by the way. But you can choose cents or you can choose dollars, right? Okay, so what is the second equation we have? If you look at the second column, if you combine the value, what is the total value? 15, 25, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That must be what? The sum of what? When we add up what? 25x
And
plus 10y equals 1525. So when we add these two, it must be equal to this. When we add these two, it must be equal to this, right? You see? Now I get my system, you see? Now I got my system. Now you can choose any method you want. We have 3 methods. Graphing, which I know nobody will choose, right? Or
Absolutely
substitution,
never.
or substitution, right? Or elimination, the addition, the one we did right before. When you look at this one right here, which method actually, you know, will go like very, very fast?
Addition.
The addition could go like very, very fast. You know, you have the choice, addition or substitution, okay? So now choose the method you want. Now choose the method you want to solve, meaning substitution or addition to solve, right? If somebody okay, since we did addition this whole hour, let's try to remember substitution last week. From last week's substitution, you're going to choose one of the equations we're going to solve for one variable. Let's say I choose this one, I solve for x, for y, minus x minus x. It's going to be y equal to what? Y equals to 103 minus x. Right? What I'm going to do to that? I'm going to take this stuff right here. I'm going to put it here. You see? That is a substitution method that we did last week. It's going to be 25x plus 10 parentheses 103 minus x equals to 1525, right? Okay, so we get 25x, then we're going to distribute, which is 1030 minus 10x is equal to 1525, right? After that, you're going to group the like terms. 25x minus 10x is how much? 15x plus 1030 is equal to 1525, right? Minus this number right here. So we get 15x is equal to 495, is that right? When you subtract 1525 minus 1030, right? And then we divide by 15. So x is 495 divided by 15. How much you got? 495 divided by 15, which is 33. So we have 33 what? Quarters. Okay, that is the number of quarters. Remember, 30x represents quarters. So if x, if you have,
scroll that up, please. So
yes, if you have 33 quarters, how many dimes you gonna have? 103 minus x, right?
Mm-hmm.
So d or y will be so y is
70.
103 minus 30, which is 70, right? Okay. So we have 33 quarters and 70 dimes to get $15.25. Yes. You see, you agree with me. These numbers weren't easy to just guess, okay? So in the test, don't try to guess. You know, I mean, not this test, because this test will not have this type of stuff, okay? But the next test, the upcoming test, you know, test number 2.
I'm sorry. Where did the negative 30 or where did the 30 come from?
The 30 is I mean
Is it already?
33. It's 33.
Okay, because I was confused. I was
Right.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're right. Think it's 30 minus 33, which is 70, right? Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So, but in here, all of you, these are calculations. Where is my focus? How to write down my table. You see, that is a focus right here. If you get your table right, then you will be able to write the equations, and now you can choose any method to solve the equation, okay? But you have to get your table right, okay? And that way, that table we did is very good because it does organize the work. You see, it does organize the things. All right, so let me give you another one. In the full step of this first one right here, that is not it. All right, so number 2. So we're going to try to do number 2. Okay, a collection of $50 and nickels. So do we even have $50 as a coin?
Yeah.
Yes. 50
You
cents.
do?
No.
It might be, you know, for collection, you know.
50-cent piece there is, $50.
Yeah, 50 cents is a $50. But I have never seen a $50 coin. But this problem talks about it, you see? So $50, maybe it did exist, you know, at
It
a
does.
time.
I
maybe.
have some. They
You have
exist.
some? They do exist, okay. Okay,
They're pretty cool.
okay. You know, but they must be like, you know, for collection stuff.
Uh-huh.
So now you have to do your table like this. Here you have $50. And here you have nickels. So here's a number of, and here you have the value. And here, the last row, you have the total. Go ahead. All right. So somebody got the final answer?
I got 26 half dollars and 8 nickels.
26 half dollars and 8 nickels, you know, which we can verify, right? 26 half dollars is $13, right? And a nickel, how many cents a nickel is?
5.
5 cents, right?
Yeah.
So, and 8 nickels will be 40 cents, okay? So you see, your answer is correct, all right? So now, tell me, let's walk us over the steps. What variable you named half dollar?
X.
You name it X.
Mhm.
And what variable you name the nickel?
Y.
Y. By the way, you can also choose the initials, right? For the variable. You see, you can call the nickels N. You can call the half dollar H. You see, okay. You can call a quarter Q. You can call a dime D. You know, etc. etc. So how many total coins you have? Total is how much? How much?
34.
34, right? That's correct. So what is the value of X half dollars?
50 cents.
Is 50 cents, right? $1.50 is 50 cents, so it's going to be 50X. Okay. And 1 nickel is 5 cents. It's going to be 5 what?
Y.
5Y. And what is the total cents right here?
1,300.
1,340. Thank you very much. Right?
Jinx.
You see, once we got that, now what you get? You get plus here equal plus equal. So we get X plus Y equal to 34 and 50X plus 5Y equal 1340, right? So did you go with the substitution or did you go with addition?
I did the substitution method.
Okay, so from the first one, which one you got by yourself?
I got Y equals 34 minus X.
Exactly, 34 minus X, because if I want to get Y by itself, I minus X here, I minus X here, right? And then what you did next?
I substituted that into the Y in the second equation.
Yep, right. So you get 50X plus 5 parentheses 34 minus X is equal to 1340, right? And then I guess you distribute it, right?
Yeah.
So you get 50X
plus 170.
170 minus 5X, exactly, equal to 1340, right? Now 50X minus 5X is 45X. Plus 170 is equal to 1340, right? So we're gonna minus 170 on both sides, which is 170, right? So we get 45X is equal to 1170. So you're gonna divide by
45 on both sides.
45 on both sides, and you got X equal to
26.
26 half dollars. Okay. Since the total should be 34, so Y is 34 minus 26, which is 8, right? So Y is 8. Thank you very much. You see, if you organize yourself this way, if you organize your table this way, then it becomes easier, right? Okay, so now we have, a variation of this application where we talk a little bit of interest stuff, right? So, Okay, so this one talks about interest. Because if it's talking about interest, we have to know how to calculate the interest, right? Okay, we have to know how to calculate the interest. By the way, what is the formula for the interest for those who are interested in the finance, math? Interest is equal to the principal times rate multiplied by time, right? For instance, if you invest $1,000 in an account that is earning 7% interest rate, right? How much interest you're gonna get after a year? What you do? Your account is earning 7% annual interest rate, right? 7% annual interest rate. You're gonna multiply the 1,000 by what decimal number?
100.
7% is what decimal?
0.7.
0.07, right? Okay, this is how we get the interest. I was saying, if you invest right here, if you invest $1,000 in a bank right here, that is earning 7% interest per year, right? After 1 year, only, your interest will be, 1,000 times 0.07, right? Which is 7%, which is 0.07, okay? Which is $70, okay? So after 1 year, you will get $70 interest, okay? All right, so since we're gonna use it here, then we have to have that. So we have a total of 27,000 is invested into 2 accounts, right? You have account A.
Wait, so where you got the $10 from?
The what?
$1,000.
No, that's what a reminder. That's what to remind you how we calculate the interest.
It's
That's
just
how,
an example.
yes, that's just an example of how to calculate the interest, because maybe some of you know how to calculate it, maybe some of you don't remember that, right? So I gave that example. This is an example I gave you top of my head, right? So now we're gonna do our problem now. I see this stuff right here, I can go ahead and remove it. So just a reminder, okay? How to get the interest. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our problem. So we have account A. We have 2 accounts. Account A at what rate? At 12%.
12%.
12%.
Account B at
13%.
13%, right? Okay, so look, we're gonna try to organize ourselves the same way we did. So we're gonna say here, account A, and here, account B, okay? And here we're gonna see the money invested, and here's the interest. If you organize this way, look, it's gonna become easy. Okay, so look, how much money is in the account A? Do we know it? How much money was invested in the first account A? We don't know, right?
Yeah.
What you call it? X.
X.
Okay. How much money was invested in the second account?
Wow.
We don't know, so we call it Y. Thank you. What was the total amount invested?
3385.
No,
Plus
that's the interest. The
27,000.
total amount invested is
27,000.
27,000, right? So what is the first equation you got? X plus Y must be equal to
Equals
27,000.
27,000.
Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now comes the hardest part now. The first account is at 12%, right? Which means each dollar will produce 12% after 1 year, right? 0.12, okay? 12% is 0.12. If you follow the example I just did, every time you want to get the interest, you multiply the amount invested by the rate, right? How much amount is invested in the account A? How much amount we said was invested? X dollars, right? Okay. If you want to get the interest, what you do? You just multiply X by the rate. That's it. Every time you want to get the interest, you multiply the investment by the rate, right? Okay. So this is going to be 0.12 times X. Everybody see that? Everybody agree with that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the account B is at 13%, which is the decimal is 0.13, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if we invested Y amount of dollar, right? Y dollars, what's going to be the interest generated after 1 year? 0.13 Y.
0.3. 13, right, yeah.
Okay, so now after 1 year, what was the total interest generated from those two accounts?
3,385.
Exactly. So what's going to be my second equation then?
3.
My second equation will be 0.12x plus 0.13y is equal to 3385. Okay? And that is, okay, it has some numbers that are not nice, but you know, who cares, right? Yeah, 0.12, 0.13, they are not really nice numbers, but we have calculators also, right? We have right to choose calculators. Exactly. So now we're going to solve this. But before we proceed on, to solving, everybody understands where these two equations come from? From the table? Yes.
Yes.
So now let's do the substitution method. You see, if you do minus x, we get what? We get y equal 27,000 minus x, right? So we're going to take that. We're going to plug it here. Okay, so we get.
Are we solving for x or we're solving for x?
Yeah, I got y by itself. Now I'm going to substitute here. I'm going to solve for x. Yes.
Okay.
When we substitute, it's going to be 0.12x plus 0.13, and the y is 27,000 minus x. Equals 3385, right? You see, if you look at them, the subject has changed, the topic has changed, right? I mean, the context has changed, but it is the same stuff we did before, right? Isn't it? It is the same math, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but the topic has changed. Now we're talking money now, right? I mean, we're talking interest, okay? But it is exactly the same stuff we did before, all right? So, and here, you're gonna have to distribute, right? So you get 0.12x plus, now I'll go 27,000 times 0.13. is 3510, right? Minus 0.13x is equal to 3385. All right. So now we're going to group the like terms. This term with this one. How much is 0.12 minus 0.13?
0.01.
Negative 0.01, right? X plus 3510 equal to 3385. Now let me minus 3510 on both sides. So I do take my calculator, I get negative 0.01x is equal to how much?
Negative 125.
Negative 1?
25.
125, right?
Yes. 125.
All right. Negative 125. So I divide by this number. So we get x equal 12,500, right? So in the first account, which is earning 12%, we invested 12,500. So what is the amount invested in the second account then? It's going to be y equal 27,000 minus 12,500, which is 14,500. All right. So account A, $12,500. Account B, $14,500. You see, the only thing here that was needed to be known here is how to calculate the interest. The interest is the principal multiplied by the interest rate. See, as simple as that. Is the principal multiplied by the interest rate. That is the interest. Okay. So again, these are calculations here. You see from here all the way down, these are calculations. We need to get to the system. We need to get to this. How to get to this? I think the best way to get to this is to write up this table right here. You see, it makes it easier. It makes it easier. You know, that is the reason we organize it that way. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you another one, a twin of this one right here. Okay, I mean the only inconvenient for this stuff, the numbers are not like really nice. Okay, they are not really very, very nice numbers. But again, we have calculators, so. All right, so I'm gonna let you do it, you know. Take your time. I'm gonna let you, and if you want, I can read you like, you know, the answer key. The answer key says 20,000 and 30,000. This is what the answer key says, 20,000 and 30,000. The answer is 20,000 and 30,000, right? All right, so did you get to the answer 20,000, 30,000?
Yes.
Somebody got to the answer 20,000, 30,000, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I think you know. You see, so let's try to go over it together. So I think you know. If you're not finished, you're about to be finished, right? So we have first account at 5%, account at 7.5%, right? So this is the money invested, and this is the interest. Okay, so how you name the variables, it really doesn't matter, you know, which one you called X, which one you called Y, it doesn't matter at all, right? So let's say me, I call this one X, I call this one Y, right? So the total must be 50,000. And then the interest out of the first account is 0.05, which is 5% multiplied by X, right? And out of the second account is going to be 0.075 multiplied by Y. And the total interest is 3250. All right. So my two equations will be X plus Y equal to 50,000. And my second equation is 0.05X plus 0.075Y is equal to 3250, right? You see, I can do the substitution for once. You know, all the examples, we got Y by itself first. Why not do the other way around? You know, just to change, for a change. So why not solve for X? So because it is the same thing, X is going to be equal, but don't change if it is the other way around, don't change nothing, right? Don't change nothing if you do the other way around. So I'm going to take this stuff right here. I'm going to put it here. So it's going to be 0.05X, which is 50,000, minus Y, plus 0.075Y equal to 3250, right? And then I do my math. 50,000 times 0.05 is how much?
3,750.
2500, right? I mean, when you distribute these two right here, we say 2500 minus 0.05Y plus 0.075Y is equal to 3250, right? These two together give me 0.025, right? Y. This is 2500 plus equal to 3250. So minus 2500 minus 2500. So we get, this is 650, right? So we get 0.025Y is 650. So we divide by 0.025, 0.025. So 650 divided by 0.025 is equal to 26,000. Which means if I don't get 20,000 and 30,000, I did a mistake somewhere, right? What mistake I did is here. This is 75 right here.
Okay.
That's 750, not 650, right?
Mhm.
So now if you do 750 divided by 0.5, 750 divided by 0.025 is 30,000, right?
Yep.
Okay. 30,000 is the Y. And the Y is the amount that is invested in the account with the highest interest, right? 7.5%. If 30,000 is the Y, the X will be 20,000, right? Because they must amount to 50,000. Again, what is my focus? My focus is how to get here. That's my focus. Here is just solving. Why it is longer than usual? Because the numbers are not nice, okay? If the numbers were very nice, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it does not seem to be long like that. All right. So this is, what we could have practiced for this topic, but in the upcoming test, I will not include word problem like that, okay? In the upcoming test. After the test, maybe the quiz number 2, maybe I will include one of them, but in the upcoming test, no, okay?
Okay.
Can you go up, please? I just want to see something.
Yes.
The 3,250, where did you get that from again?
From the problem itself, right here.
Okay, yeah, right, okay.
Yep. All right, so that concludes this chapter 2. So now we have a few minutes left. At least I'm going to talk about chapter 3, which we're going to start really next week. That is kind of different, right? The chapter 3 is about polynomials. The chapter 3 is polynomials. Okay, polynomials. What are the polynomials? Is any expression, we're going to define it later on, right? We're going to define the polynomial later on, but is any expression where we have only positive exponent, right? Any expression where we have only positive exponent is called a polynomial. Okay, so because we're going to use a lot of exponent, we better have some reminder, right? We better remind us, 3.1 is exponent. What are the rules on the exponent? What are the rules, right? So all of you know, if you say a cubed exponent 3, all of you know is what?
A times.
Times A times A.
Times A, how many times?
3.
3 times, right? Except for 0. If you say 5 to the 0 power is how much?
0.
By convention, this is conventional stuff. This is 1. You see, any number raised to 0 power is 1, except maybe 0 itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But any other number raised to 0 is 1, not 0. If it's a negative 1.3 raised to 0 power is going to be still 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, and you guys remember, what are the rules, for instance, if you multiply exponents, what you have to do, etc., etc. So we're going to try to write at least the first rule. You see, if you have a, for instance, we say a cubed multiplied by a squared, right? That is the same base, base a cubed multiplied by a squared, same base, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a to what power, you think?
A 5.
5
Yeah.
power.
8 to the 5 power,
8 to the
because
10
in
power.
that case, we'll have to add up. For those who want to see why, because a cubed, we just said is a times a times a, right?
Mhm.
And a squared is a
Eight times it.
times a. So how many a's we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a to the 5th.
Yeah.
You see? So that is a to the 5th. So basically, the 5 come from 3 plus 2. Okay? So which give us the first rule is when you say am multiplied by an, right? It's going to be 8 what power?
1.
So
And then
am multiplied by a, so am plus n.
right. So when we're dividing, it's subtraction, right? I know we're probably gonna get. Okay.
Exactly. When we divide, we'll have to subtract, but when we multiply, we'll have to add, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So this will bring us to the second rule. If we say a7 divided by a to the 4th, right? You see, a7 is 7 a's. A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And a to the 4th is 4 a's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can cancel this one go, this one go, this one go, this one go. How much left?
3.
3 left is a cubed. This brings us to the second rule that says when we divide am, a to the m power, divided by a to the n power is am minus n. Okay. That's the second rule. The first rule is when we multiply this, it has to be the same base, by the way. It has to be the same base. What we call the base is a. The first rule says when you multiply, you add up the exponent. The second rule says when you divide, you subtract the exponent. How about the third rule now? You see, if you do this, if you do a cubed square, right? What do you think it's going to be?
Multiplication.
8 times.
Yes, it's going to be multiplication. How it comes to a to the 6? Let's break it down. Any number square is this number multiplied by itself, is a cubed multiplied by a cubed, right? Okay, that is a square. The square is when you multiply the number by itself. So now what is a cubed? Is a times a times a. The a cubed is a times a times a. So when you group the a's, it's going to be a to the 6, right? And this 6 happens to be 3 times 2. So when we combine the exponents, we multiply them, right? Like that. When we combine the exponents, we multiply them. So a m parentheses to the n power is what is a m n. Okay. am to the n power is a m n, right? So these are the 3 rules. When you come back, so we're going to talk about that. So again, so next week, so please don't be late because we're going to do the test at the beginning of the hour, right? We're going to do the test at the beginning of the hour. Then when everybody will open Brightspace, then the test will be made available. Then you will have like 1 hour, 10 minutes or so, to do the test. You see, the 1 hour is to do the math. The 10 minutes is to take pictures, okay? Or to scan it. I prefer, to get a PDF. If I don't get a PDF, you can take pictures, regular pictures, and you send them to me, right? After we're done, we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna continue our lesson. Unfortunately, we cannot afford to pass by the whole hour. We cannot afford that. If you do that, we won't be able to finish the program, right? So that is the inconvenient of having one class a week.
Your office hours are tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, my office hours are tomorrow. So now tomorrow you have to keep in touch with me because my daughter is having a surgery, very important surgery,
Yeah.
you know, at John Hopkins. So if you don't see me in my office hours, it would be because of that. But
Okay.
it's just tomorrow, okay?
Mhm.
You know, but you know, you can email me and see, you know, if I'm there. If I'm there, I'm gonna connect to Zoom, okay?
Okay.
If I'm there. All right,
But
everybody.
if
Could
not with you, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. I was saying, could I speak to you about the accommodations after everyone leaves?
Yeah, yeah. So don't forget to write your name, right? For the attendance, please. So okay, so what you were saying?
Oh, I was just asking if I couldn't be at your office hours. There's some other tutoring that will be going on tomorrow.
Yes, definitely. You see, definitely tomorrow, unfortunately, like I said, I have to go to the hospital maybe for the whole day, right?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
you know, if you go to Brightspace, let me share here. If you go to Brightspace, you see, you go here, and that link on Brightspace will open up a schedule. You see, that is a
Okay.
schedule you have, and you have 082 almost everywhere. You see, the first table is face to face, but you have to go
Yeah.
to all the way to Catonsville. But
Right.
this right here, everywhere you see 082, if you click on the link, you right click on the link, etc. You go to the link, you open the link. It's going to be either Zoom or Teams. Some
Okay.
teachers use Zoom, some teachers use Teams. And you're going to have a CCBC math teacher that's going to tutor you, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
All right. Hi, everybody.
All
All right.
What's
Thank
your
you.
name? And everybody has a good week. And you know, please be prepared for the test. I'm not saying the test will be hard. It's going to be just a regular test. But please, you cannot underestimate a test. You have to be prepared for the test. Okay.
Yeah. And
All
so
right.
you said in the beginning, we'll just log in and take the test, and then we'll.
Yeah, it's going to be on Zoom, just as if you were doing class. Everybody going to connect on Zoom. Everybody will turn their camera on. You know, some of you never turn their camera on, but next week they will. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, it's going to be, you know, for the
And
first.
that's at 5:45.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So for the test, we're gonna have to submit it the same way we would submit our assignments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then if you encounter some difficulty, like some of you maybe won't be able to do that, then you can send it to me. But you only send it to me to my email, only if you are not able to submit like you did with the quiz, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very
Good
much.
night.
Good night.
Night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
Right.